All right, boys and girls, chapter 12 of Turtle in Paradise, Hard Times. Everyone's always saying that hard times bring out the best in people. But far as I can tell, the only thing that hard times bring out is plain meanness. I left my shoes outside on the front porch last night and some rotten kid stole them. I loved those shoes. I remember the day that Archie bought them for me. He'd taken Mama and me out to lunch at the counter at Woolworth's. After, Mama was buying me a pair of glue-on soles to stretch my two small shoes when Archie stopped her. "The princess needs new shoes," he said. "That's all there is to it." He took me to the store where a pal of his worked and bought me a pretty new pair of Mary Janes. Even though Mama's fellows were always buying me little treats, candy and hair ribbons, the shoes felt different. They were so ordinary, like something that, well, a father would buy. Walking down the street in those shoes with Archie and Mama, it almost felt like we were a real family. It's August now and everything's hotter. It rains most days, quick afternoon showers that turn Curry Lane into a bowl of mud. Uncle Vernon's gone back, and he took a little bit of Aunt Minnie's good humor with him. We're on the porch as usual. Smokey's asleep in a patch of sun, and it's so hot that Termite can't be bothered to chase her. He lies under the swing, panting in the thick heat. A bunch of kids come riding down the lane on their bikes. I eye their feet for my stolen shoes, but none of them are even wearing any. "Who do you think took my shoes?" I ask. "I wouldn't put it past Too Bad," Porkchop says. "That kid's got it in for us since we won't let him be in the gang." "Do we have to watch babies today?" asked Buddy. "We have to watch you every day, Buddy," Bean says. Aunt Minnie walks out and drops a basket of laundry in front of me. Termite yelps, startled. "Your cat made a mess in my clean laundry," she says through gritted teeth. Everyone looks at me, and I look at the laundry. Sure enough, some cat has done something despicable on a lady's pale blue silk slip. "Smokey would never do that," I say. "She knows better. She's the only cat in the house," Aunt Minnie says. "That slip's ruined, and I'm going to have to pay Mrs. Felton for that. I'll be lucky if I don't end up owing her more money than she owes me." "I swear it wasn't Smokey," I say. "Maybe it was Buddy." "It wasn't me, Ma," Buddy says. "I only go in my pants." My aunt takes a deep breath and looks down at the laundry and then back up at me. "If it happens again, the cat's going," she says. Then she picks up the laundry basket and marches into the house. Smokey blinks a sleepy eye open. A few days later, I'm walking down Grinnell Street, my toes squishing in the mud, and I'm tempted to use the money that Archie gave me to buy some new shoes, but I don't think this is the kind of emergency that he meant. There's a bar where the sailors and fishermen like to waste their hard-earned money. Slowpoke's sitting outside at a little table with another fellow. "Well, if it ain't my favorite deckhand," he says. "Hi, Pat," I say. "Hi, Terry," he says. "So, when are we going to China?" I ask. "Whenever you want," he says. "Sooner the better. I sure could stand to find that gold mine," I say. "Some kid stole my shoes." What do you need shoes for anyhow, conk kid like you?" Slowpoke teases. "To walk in," I say. The man sitting across from Slowpoke says, "Just like her mother, ain't she?" "Believe me, I'm nothing like my mama," I say. Slowpoke stares at me. "You do have a little bit of Sadie Bell in you." She wanted to see the world too. "How well did you know my mama anyway?" I ask. The other man at the table starts to choke, like his drink went down the wrong pipe. Before Slowpoke can answer, Kermit comes racing up to me, Buddy hot on his heels. Ma's burning mad," Kermit says. "She just about blew her top." Smokey ruined another of Mrs. Felton's skirts. She's in trouble now, Buddy says, and my heart sinks. When I reach the house, Aunt Minnie's is waiting for me on the front porch, holding out the skirt. Please, Aunt Minnie, I say. I just know it wasn't Smokey. She's never done that before, and we've lived in a lot of different places. Some other cat must have gotten into the house. She doesn't say a word. She just shakes her head. The supper dishes are washed and the house is quiet. In my room, trying to figure out what to do with Smokey. I'm in my room trying to figure out what to do with Smokey. If I were little orphan Annie, Daddy Warbucks would rescue me and Smokey, but I'm not lucky as an orphan. What are we going to do, Smokey? I say, rubbing her belly as she stretches out on the bed. We've never been apart. Having to give her up is almost worse than being sent away from Mama. Kermit walks in without knocking, Buddy right behind him. The little boy's got his pajama shirt on backwards, but at least he's got on pants for a change. Poor Smokey, Kermit says. I'm going to miss you, Buddy says, and lunges for Smokey, but my cat's too fast. She leaps out of the way. I'm not going to miss your ugly cat, Beans says, standing in the doorway. Who are you going to give her to? Kermit asks. You should give her to Porkchop, Beans suggests. I don't think so, I say. I've seen him with babies. A piercing scream rings out through the tiny house. What was that? Kermit asked. Sounded like Ma. Do you think someone's tick-tocking us? Beans asked. There's another scream, and we all rush downstairs. I don't think I'll ever get the picture out of my head. Aunt Minnie in her cotton nightgown spinning wildly in circles, smacking her back and screaming, Get it off of me! Get it off me! Buddy is frozen, staring at his mother. Get it off me! Aunt Minnie screams. Get what off you, Ma? Beans asks. I don't see anything. Kermit turns to me, a fearful expression on his face. Is Ma going crazy like Mr. Alvarez? Is she going to start running naked down Duval Street? Aunt Minnie lifts her nightgown over her head and throws it on the ground, clawing at her back. Is she going crazy? Kermit says in dismay. Is she going crazy? But before Aunt Minnie can make it to the doorway, let alone Duval Street, she faints dead away, falling face first onto the wooden floor. Aunt Minnie, I cry. Smokey, who's followed us downstairs, runs into the room, hissing at the abandoned nightgown. A huge scorpion, much bigger than the one in the icebox, runs out, tail waving. Beans yelps, jumping back. She's not going crazy, you dummy. She got stung, he says, and then yells, Buddy, watch out. Buddy blinks as if waking up and jumps out of the path of the scorpion. Smokey isn't scared, though. She starts batting the scorpion around with her paws like it's a mouse. Be careful, Smokey, I shout. I'll get the rolling pin, Bean says. By the time he returns, Smokey's already done the job. The scorpion's not moving, but neither is Aunt Minnie. Mama's dead, Buddy wails and starts bawling. I rush over to Aunt Minnie's side and hear her moan softly. She's not dead, I say, but one of you better go fetch the doctor. Kermit races out of the room. I don't want Ma to die, Buddy cries, liquid trickling down his leg. And he starts crying even harder. Oh, Buddy, Bean says and puts his arm around his brother. Across the room, Smokey bites the head off the scorpion and chews. Aunt Minnie is lying in her bed on her stomach, a sheet draped over her. The doctor gave her an injection. I've never seen anything like it. She was stung clear down her back. The scorpion was in her nightgown. Must have been hiding in there, Bean says. She's going to be in a lot of pain. Vomiting. Just keep her comfortable. Where's your father? He's working. He looks as pale. Beans looks as pale as his mother. Well, if anything changes, you know where to find me, the doctor tells us. I'll be by again in the morning to check on her. We pile pillows on the floor next to Aunt Minnie's bed and stay by her side through the night. Sometime towards dawn, I wake up and go out to the outhouse, and when I return to the room, Aunt Minnie's awake. Her eyes are glazed in pain. Sadie Belle, she whispers. It's me, Turtle, Aunt Minnie, I say. You got stung by a scorpion. I've missed you, Sadie Belle, she says. I'm back now, I say, and pat her head. Go to sleep. I'll take care of you. Her eyes flutter shut. Sadie Belle, she whispers. Yes, I say. Why'd you take my dolls? Oh, go to sleep already, I say, and she does. It's late in the day when Aunt Minnie staggers out to the kitchen, wincing with every step. She looks around, her sharp eyes taking in everything. The boys are sitting around the table eating their supper. What are you children eating? Milk toast, I say. Who cleaned? She asks, her voice hoarse. Me, I say. If there's one thing a housekeeper's kid can do, it's clean. Buddy, have you had any accidents today? She asks. I made him stop playing and use the outhouse, Bean says. He whined every time, but I made him do it. You take your nap, Kermit? She asks. The whole hour, Ma, Kermit says. She stares at us all and shakes her head as if she can't believe it. Then she turns, walking slowly out of the kitchen. Buddy pipes up. Smokey killed the scorpion that bit you, Ma. Bit its head right off. Aunt Minnie pauses for a moment. I think she's going to change her mind, but then her eyes rest on the laundry in the corner, and her shoulders stiffen. The cat is still going, she says.